Chapter 57. Contentment and self-esteem, and avoidance of unnecessary begging of people. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, "The Prophet said, richness is not the abundance of wealth. Rather, it is self-sufficiency." Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, "The Messenger of Allah said, successful is the one who has entered the fold of Islam and is provided with sustenance which is sufficient for his needs, and Allah makes him content with what he has bestowed upon him." Muslim. Hakim bin Hizam, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, "I begged Messenger of Allah, and he gave me. I begged him again, and he gave me. I begged him again, and he gave me, and said, O Hakim, wealth is pleasant and sweet. He who acquires it with self-contentment, it becomes a source of blessing for him. But it is not blessed for him who seeks it out of greed. He is like one who goes on eating, but his hunger is not satisfied. The upper hand is better than the lower one. I said to him, O Messenger of Allah, by him who sent you with the truth, I will not, after you, ask anyone for anything till I leave this world. So Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, would summon Hakim, may Allah be pleased with him, to give his rations, but he would refuse. Then Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, would call him, but he would decline to accept anything. So Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, said, addressing Muslims, O Muslims, I ask you to bear testimony that I offer Hakim his share of the booty that Allah has assigned for him, but he refuses my offer. Thus Hakim did not accept anything from anyone after the death of Messenger of Allah till he died. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Burda, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, may Allah be pleased with him, said, 6 of us accompanied Messenger of Allah in an expedition. We had 1 camel with us. We rode it in turn. Our feet got injured, and my nails also fell out. We wrapped up our feet in rags. And because of this, the campaign came to be known as Dat or Rika, the Campaign of Rags. Abu Burda, may Allah be pleased with him, says, Abu Musa reported this hadith, but regretted having done so. He said, would that I had not mentioned it. He said so because he disliked to disclose anything concerning his deeds. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Amr bin Taghlib, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, some booty or prisoners of war were brought to Messenger of Allah, and he distributed them, giving some men and neglecting others. Then he was informed that those whom he had not given a thing were displeased. On this, the Messenger of Allah praised Allah and glorified him and said, it is a fact that I give to one and overlook another. The one I ignore is dearer to me than the one I give. I give to those in whose hearts I perceive anxiety. Others I leave with thee. Richness and contentment that Allah has put in their hearts. One of them is Amr bin Taghlib. Upon this, Amr bin Taghlib said, By Allah, I shall not accept a herd of red camels in exchange for what the Prophet said about me. Al-Bukhari. Hakim bin Hizam, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, The Prophet said, The upper hand is better than the lower one, and begin charity with those who are under your care, and the best charity is the one which is given out of surplus. And he who wishes to abstain from begging will be protected by Allah, and he who seeks self-sufficiency will be made self-sufficient by Allah. Al-Bukhari. Abu Sufyan, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, Do not be importunate in begging. By Allah, if one of you asks me for something, and I give it to him unwillingly, there is no blessing in what I give him. Muslim. Auf bin Malik al-Ashja'i, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, 7, 8, or 9 people, including myself, were with Messenger of Allah on an occasion when he remarked, Would you pledge allegiance to Messenger of Allah? As we had taken oath of allegiance shortly before, we said, We have already done so, O Messenger of Allah. He again asked, Would you not pledge allegiance to Messenger of Allah? So we stretched out our hands and said, We have already made our pledge with you, O Messenger of Allah. On what should we make a pledge with you? He said, To worship Allah, and not to associate anything with Him, to perform the 5 daily salat, and to obey. Then he added in a low tone, and not to ask people for anything. Thereafter, I noticed that some of these people who were present did not ask anyone to pick up even the whip for them, if it fell from their hands. Muslim. Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, The Prophet said, If one of you would keep begging of people until he meets Allah on the day of resurrection, his face will be without a shred of flesh. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, while Messenger of Allah was on his pulpit in the mosque, delivering a khutbah, religious talk about sadaqah, charity, and begging, he said, The upper hand is better than the lower hand. The upper hand is the one which gives, and the lower hand is the begging one. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, He who begs to increase his riches is in fact asking only for a live coal. It is up to him to decrease it or increase it. Muslim. Samara bin Jundub, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, Begging is a cut that a person inflicts upon his face, except for asking a ruler or under the stress of circumstances from which there is no escape. at-Tirmidhi, who classified it as Hadith Hasan Sahih. Ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, "He who suffers poverty and seeks relief from people, he will not be relieved. But he who seeks relief from Allah alone, he will be relieved sooner or later." Abu Dawud and at-Tirmidhi, who classified it as Hadith Hasan. Thaban, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, "He who guarantees me that he will not beg anything from anyone, I will guarantee him to enter Jannah." I said, "I give you the guarantee." Then Thaban, may Allah be pleased with him, never begged anything from anyone. Abu Dawud. Qabisa bin al-Mukarrik, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, I stood as surety for a debt, and came to Messenger of Allah to seek his help in discharging it. Messenger of Allah, Sam, said, "Wait till we receive charity, and I shall give you out of it." He added, "O Qabisa, begging is not lawful except for 3 people. 1. Who has incurred debt for assuming guarantee. For him begging is permissible till the guarantee is discharged, and he should then refrain. A person whose property has been destroyed by a calamity is allowed to beg till he attains self-sufficiency. A person who meets with dire necessity due to hunger, provided that 3 men of understanding from his people affirm the genuineness of his poverty. For him, begging is lawful till he attains means of his subsistence. Other than these, O Qabisa, anything received through begging is unlawful. Its recipient devours it unlawfully. Muslim. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, "A needy person is not the one who goes from door to door, begging, and is turned away with a morsel or 2, or with a date or 2. But a needy person is the one who does not have enough to live upon, and neither from his appearance it occurs that he is needy and should be given alms, nor does he himself beg anything from others." Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Chapter 58. Permissibility of assistance without greed. Salim, son of Abdullah bin Umar, from his father Abdullah, from Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, Messenger of Allah would give me some gift, but I would say, give it to someone who needs it more than I. Thereupon he would say, take it when it comes to you without begging, and without greed, and add it to your property. Then use it yourself, or give it away in charity. As for the rest, do not covet it. Salim said, Abdullah bin Umar would never ask anything from anyone, nor would he refuse accepting it when it was given to him. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Chapter 59. Encouraging livelihood by working with hands and abstaining from begging. Zubair bin Awam, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, it is far better for you to take your rope, go to the mountain, Cut some firewood, carry it on your back, and sell it, and thereby save your face, than begging from people, whether they give you or refuse. Al-Bukhari. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, "It is better for any one of you to carry a bundle of wood on his back and sell it than to beg of someone, whether he gives him or refuses." Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Prophet said, Prophet Dawood ate only out of that which he earned through his manual work. Al-Bukhari. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah, Psalm said, Prophet Zachariah, Psalm was a carpenter. Muslim. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Prophet said, no food is better to man than that which he earns through his manual work. Dawood, the Prophet of Allah, ate only out of his earnings from his manual work. Al-Bukhari. Chapter 60. Excellence of generosity and spending in a good cause with reliance on Allah. Ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Prophet said, envy is permitted only in two cases: a man whom Allah gives wealth, and he disposes of it rightfully, and a man to whom Allah gives knowledge which he applies and teaches it. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah asked, who of you loves the wealth of his heir more than his own wealth? The companions said, O Messenger of Allah, there is none of us but loves his own wealth more. He said, his wealth is that which he has sent forward, but that which he retains belongs to his heir. Al-Bukhari. Adi bin Hatim, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, protect yourself from hell-fire even by giving a piece of date as charity. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Jaber, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah never said no to anyone who asked him for anything. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, every day 2 angels descend, and one of them says, O Allah, compensate more to the person who gives in charity, while the other one says, O Allah, destroy the one who withholds charity, etc. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, Allah, the Exalted says, spend, O son of Adam, you will also be spent upon. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, a man asked Messenger of Allah, which act in Islam is the best? He replied, to feed the poor and the needy, and to greet those whom you know, and those you do not know. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abdullah bin Ammar bin al-As, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah said, there are 40 kinds of virtue, the highest of which is to gift a milch she-goat. He who practices any of these virtues, expecting its reward from Allah, and believing on the verity of the promise made for it, will enter Jannah. Al-Bukhari. Abu Umama, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, O son of Adam, if you spend the surplus, it will be better for you, and if you retain it, it will be bad for you. You will not be reprimanded for keeping what is enough for your need. Begin with those who are your dependents, and the upper hand, i.e., the one that spends in the way of Allah, is better than the lower hand, i.e., the one that receives charity. Muslim. Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, whenever the Messenger of Allah was asked a thing by one who is about to accept Islam, he would give it. A man came to the Prophet, and he gave him a herd of sheep scattered between 2 mountains. When he returned to his people, he said to them, O my people, embrace Islam, because Muhammad gives like one who has no fear of poverty. Some people would embrace Islam only for worldly gains, but soon Islam becomes dearer to them than the world with all what it contains. Muslim. Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah distributed some wealth, and I said to him, O Messenger of Allah, do you not think that there are other people who are more deserving than these whom you gave? He said, they had, in fact, left no alternative for me except either they should beg of me importunately, or they would regard me as a miser. But I am not a miser. Muslim. Jubair bin Mut'im, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, while I was walking with the Prophet on his return from the Battle of Hunain, a few Bedouins caught hold of him and began to demand their shares. They forced him to a tree, and someone snatched away his cloak, which got entangled in that thorny tree. The Prophet said, Give my cloak back to me. Were I to have camels equal to the number of these trees, I would have distributed them all among you, and you would not have found me a miser, or a liar, or a coward. Al-Bukhari. Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, Wealth is not diminished by giving. In charity, Allah augments the honor of one who forgives, and one who displays humbleness towards another, seeking the pleasure of Allah. Allah exalts him in ranks. Muslim. Abu Kabsha, Amr bin Sa'd, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, I swear by Allah for 3 qualities which I am going to tell you about. Remember them well. 1. The wealth of a man will not diminish by sadaqah, charity. 2. Allah augments the honor of a man who endures an oppression patiently. 3. He who opens a gate of begging, Allah opens a gate of poverty or he said a word similar to it. He also said, "Remember well what I am going to tell you. The world is for 4 kinds of people. 1. One upon whom Allah has bestowed wealth and knowledge, and so he fears his Rabbin. Respect to them, joins the ties of blood relationship, and acknowledges the rights of Allah on him, and fulfills them. This type will have the best position in Jannah. 2. One upon whom Allah has conferred knowledge, but no wealth, and he is sincere in his intention, and says, had I possessed wealth, I would have acted like so-and-so. If that is his intention, his reward is the same as that of the other. 3. One whom Allah has given wealth, but no knowledge, and he squanders his wealth ignorantly, does not fear Allah in respect to it, does not discharge the obligations of kinship, and does not acknowledge the rights of Allah. Such a person will be in the worst position in the hereafter. 4. One upon whom Allah has bestowed neither wealth nor knowledge, and he says, had I possessed wealth, I would have acted like so-and-so, i.e., he would squander his wealth. If this is his intention, both will have equal sin. At-Tirmidhi, who classified it as hadith as-Salihin. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, reported, Messenger of Allah had slaughtered a sheep and distributed major portions of its meat. Then he asked, is there anything left? She replied, nothing, except the shoulder. Thereupon he said, all of it is left, except its shoulder. At-Tirmidhi, who classified it as hadith sahih. Asma bint Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with her, reported, Messenger of Allah said to me, do not hoard, otherwise Allah will withhold from you. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, I heard Messenger of Allah saying, the case of a miserly man and a generous man who gives in charity is similar to that of 2 persons who are clad in armor from their breasts up to their collarbones. When the generous man gives in charity, his armor expands so much as to cover his fingertips and toes. When the miser intends to spend something, the armor contracts, and every ring of it sticks to the place where it is, sinks into his flesh. He tries to loosen it, but it does not expand. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, he who gives in charity the value of a date which he legally earned, and Allah accepts only that which is pure, Allah accepts it with his right hand and fosters it for him, as one of you fosters his mare, until it becomes like a mountain. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Prophet said, while a man was walking through a barren land, he heard a voice coming out of a cloud, saying, "Irrigate the garden of so-and-so." Thereupon, the cloud drifted in a certain direction and discharged its water over a rocky plain. The streamlets flowed into a channel. This man followed the channel until it reached a garden, and he saw the owner of the garden standing in its center, working with his spade, spreading the water, changing the course of the water. He asked him, "O slave of Allah, what is your name?" He told his name, which was the same that he heard from the cloud. The owner of the garden then asked him, "O slave of Allah, why did you ask my name?" He replied, "I heard a voice from a cloud, which poured down this water, saying, 'Irrigate the garden of so-and-so.' I would like to know, what do you do with it?" He said, "Now that you asked me, I will tell you. I estimate the produce of the garden and distribute 1/3 of it in charity. I spend 1/3 on myself and my family and invest 1/3 back into the garden." Muslim.